here would like to be able to quickly recover from any major challenge that life throws your way. When I say major challenge that life throws your way, I'm talking about loss, grief, the loss of anything of value to you, or something that you were unable to attain, such as that promotion that was given to someone else, or the perfect job for you, but the hiring manager didn't think so. And then, of course, there is the loss of a loved one. What you may not know about me is that I have extensive, and I mean oceans of experience in grief. I had an uncle pass away. On our way home from the funeral, his only son was killed in a car accident on his way home from his father's funeral. On the other side of my family, I had an aunt pass away. We are still making arrangements for her services when her son, who was also her caregiver, passed away. That even confused the funeral home. They called us because someone came in with the same address and they thought they had made the mistake. Sadly, it was not. And the riptide that took me out truly into the ocean of nothingness was when my uncle, who was the eldest member of my family, and my boyfriend passed away within 2 days of each other. Blank, confusion, get it back together, because I needed to do things for both of them. I had responsibilities to my uncle, I had responsibilities to my boyfriend, and this is extremely important. So of course I could not make a mistake on any of these. I carried out my responsibilities dutifully and automatically, because I'm positive that I was not thinking clearly. I just did. When I returned home was when I realized I was in that ocean of nothingness. That the riptide had truly taken me out into the middle of the ocean of grief. I didn't know that it was possible to be alive and not have a single thought in your head. I also didn't know that it was possible to truly just not see anything within your surroundings. I didn't hear anything, not a TV, not music, not birds, not anything except the fear and pain in my cousin's voice as she said, "I don't know what to do for her. She won't eat. She hasn't eaten in a week. She won't get up. She won't get out of bed. She won't do anything. I don't know what to do." And then she handed me the phone. It was my mother, and she said, "You are depressed. Get up, get help." The fear and urgency in her voice, though extremely strong, was not the only thing that got me out of that bed. It was knowing that this pain and fear that was rampant right now was all because of me, and that I could stop it and had not. So I got up. I contacted my employee assistance program. I got a grief counselor. I went to talk to her. Didn't quite work for me. I don't recall as to why, but it didn't quite work for me. So I called and got another one. That one didn't quite work out either. That was when I realized I'm going to have to do this for myself. I am the one responsible. I am the one that's going to have to take these steps to get back to the land of the living. So I did. I started researching as much as I could on the internet, reading books, talking to ministers, talking to anyone that I thought could help me. And when I realized that I was still standing, I realized there was a pattern to my recovering from not just this challenges, but the ones even before that. And so I started to write it down because I did not want to go through this again. Not ever. I learned 3 things out of that. The first one is there are a lot of people that are in a stage of grief and don't recognize it. The second is for each stage of grief, there is an empowering stage of hope that we can go to. And thirdly, we have everything we need inside of us. It has already been given to us to prevail over every circumstance that comes our way. One of the things that I'd like to talk to you about in my development of the 7 stages of hope is, though there are 7 stages of hope, we're only going to talk about 3 of them today. We're going to talk about embrace, which on the side of grief is denial. We may deny our power, we may deny our options, or maybe we just like to think of it as simply choosing not to acknowledge that we have power and options, when in fact we need to embrace the power and options that are in front of us, because there are always power and options. Remember, we were built with everything we need to prevail over our circumstances. The next one that I'd like to talk about is getting centered, which is the opposite of being angry. When we're angry, it's as if a filter goes up between us and everyone else. We aren't thinking clearly, we aren't seeing clearly, and we certainly aren't hearing clearly. There's some physiological reasons for that. I won't go into those right now, but just know, as we all do, when we are angry, we are not at our best. So we need to get centered. Find ourselves oriented in our surroundings. Get steady. However that needs to happen for you. Yoga, meditation, music, whatever it may happen to be. Get centered helps us to be able to see our options in front of us. The third thing that we will talk about today is reconnect. When circumstances are not at the best for us, we go off to ourselves. We retreat to our corners, our rooms, whatever it happens to be. What is the highest form of punishment in any penal system? Solitary confinement. And yet we put ourselves through this voluntarily. Just go off to ourselves, lock ourselves away because we don't feel we are at our best. And yet, on the side of hope, what we need to do is reconnect. reach out to someone that can speak with you and support you and give you great guidance along the way. These are but 3 of the 7 stages of hope. If you would like to know more, please reach out to me at DanenaAndrades360.com. Thank you.